All right, so I just found this video from Atlanta Investigates, where they're talking about a bunch of cities out in Georgia that have been accused of using police as revenue generators. Um, Basically, investigating how these cops out there are, uh, you know, pulling people over, arresting people, and all sorts of other things um, to generate revenue for these particular cities in Georgia. So it's pretty interesting. Um, they interview a few people, I believe. I saw about 5 minutes of it. Looks like they're going to be interviewing some people who were victims of this. So kind of get an inside look of how things are operating in some of the. I know it's not just Georgia cities that have departments that do this, but probably many of them throughout the United States. So we can all get some education on this. So y'all let me know what y'all think, all right? It's Ricky Rich with Black Primacy. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on your notifications.
Alarming claims in the town of Brookside, allegations of illegal policing and racial profiling.
You want me to explain this to you?
Brookside's police chief resigned after allegations of improper and excessive traffic stops and policing.
They were literally being tossed out of their cars on the street, vehicles taken, had to walk to safety.
We're going to deal with this, brother. We're going to deal with this. What's your name?
I think
What's your name?
they were looking for easy targets.
Alexis Thomas takes us back to the day she and her mother, Shakitha, were arrested by officers in Brookside, Alabama in 2022. Both sent to jail, both their cars towed and impounded, costing them thousands of dollars. Pulled over because her mother's car had a broken tag light.
What's going through your mind?
Oh my God, I was terrified. What is really going on here?
According to a pending class action lawsuit, the city allegedly deployed its police department not to protect the public, but to generate revenue, boosting its budget 640% with fines and forfeitures in 2 years. Purchasing this armored vehicle and naming its department's canine Cash.
Something's not right.
Wandalyn Givan is a member of the Alabama House of Representatives, whose district includes Brookside. After receiving thousands of complaints, she helped pass a new state law 2 years ago capping the amount of traffic citation revenue cities can collect at 10% of their budgets. Ticket revenue generated above that sent to a state-run crime victims compensation fund. The legislation received bipartisan support in a Republican-led legislature.
I had law enforcement agencies literally calling me from across the state of Alabama and throughout the nation to say, listen, we're good cops. We're not bad cops. Those are bad cops.
And Brookside was the catalyst for this legislation.
Absolutely. Brookside exists everywhere. There's a Brookside in every state.
300 miles away, ticketed drivers share similar outrage about a small police department in Lenox, Georgia, that generates even more revenue from traffic citations.
Like they were looking for charges to stack upon us.
It's crazy. I mean, they're pulling people over left and right.
It definitely seemed like he was coming after me. I was a cash cow.
And Atlanta News' first investigation uncovered nearly 73% of Lenox's budget came from traffic fines in 2022. To put that in perspective, Brookside's fines and forfeitures made up around 49% of its budget before Alabama changed the law. While state law enforcement can revoke speed detection permits if it can prove cities are writing excessive speeding tickets for profit, Georgia does not cap the amount of revenue municipalities can collect from traffic citations.
To put it shortly, Georgia state laws incentivize municipalities to use their police departments and their code enforcers to police for profit and for taxation by citation.
Jabasitu Ashvili is an attorney with the Institute for Justice. According to this report produced by the civil rights organization, Georgia ranks as the worst state in the country with laws that enable or encourage taxation through citation. largely because municipalities operate their own traffic courts.
So this is wholly counterproductive to the notion of police protecting and serving, and instead turns police into revenue collectors for themselves and for the town.
Atlanta News first uncovered Lennox is among 17 cities in the state that rely on 25% or more of their budgets from traffic citation revenue, the majority in South Georgia, including Warwick, Morven, and Poland.
The tax base for rural Georgia is declining.
Attorney Tommy Coleman represents some of those South Georgia cities.
Cities and counties in Georgia and other places ought to be able to master of their own destiny. They ought to be able to control their own revenue. And
when you look at the numbers,
right.
Do you think that this impacts trust in law enforcement?
Well, I'm sure it does for the people who've gotten the ticket.
They are supposed to protect us, serve and protect us.
Back in Brookside, Alabama, a judge dropped all of the charges against Jakeitha and her daughter, but the damage was already done.
It made me really, really not like the police. I'm just gonna be honest.
I'm nervous all the time.
I was gonna say, every time I go anywhere, I'm nervous. I don't want, if a police get behind me, I instantly have to record.
A department accused of taking advantage of its authority, impacting trust in law enforcement, something Alabama lawmakers addressed to prevent from happening again.
4 days down at the bottom.
While its neighboring state has yet to take action.
Y'all be safe out there in Brookside. But this is one of those things that to me isn't I learned that pretty early on. It really isn't new news on how they operate. It's kind of crazy. It's just the way of the world these days. Like when I remember when I got my first several tickets for various different things, speeding, headlight, loud music, all, like the loud music one. Well, my music was loud, but yeah, they used, I remember they called it noise pollution was what they called it. But I used to get I had several different tickets, and me, especially in my younger days, I would not necessarily forget, but I would not show up to court because either I didn't have the money or didn't have the time or just didn't care too much. And then they'd stick a $300 civil assessment on top of the cost of the ticket. Send me that in the mail, and then that'll get me. And then of course, I'm like, oh man, now I'm looking at a $400 or $500 bill. So then I schedule a court date. I'll go to court, and I kid you not, like almost every time they would remove the ticket, and the ticket was, like I said, maybe $100, $150 at most, and they would drop the charge for the ticket or drop the ticket, and I would only have to pay the civil assessment. But the civil assessment is $300. So it's like, just that setup alone is like, we're just gonna go out here, we're gonna ticket as many people as we can. The people who show up they'll pay the fine. The people who don't, we're gonna get even more money for them. I was fortunate that they dropped the ticket, but it's like, you still hit me for $300, and I'm 18, 19 years old. I'm not making a whole lot of money. And a lot, there were a few of those that, end up just going on my credit when I was younger. Like, it just messes up things financially. Now, obviously I got the ticket, the responsible thing is to take care of it or pay for it. But come on, noise pollution. Y'all let me know if y'all ever heard of noise pollution. No, there's all types of things that they can and if directed to, like a lot of these cities out here in Georgia that they're talking about, they will utilize any reason they can to pull you over and ticket you. Like getting your car towed for, uh, well, I don't. It wasn't clear if she got her car towed because of the license plate light. I've actually been pulled over for that as well. It's not clear if she got her car towed for that or if she got pulled over for that and there was something else. I would assume there was something else. Well, I don't know because then they dropped the charges at the end. So I don't know. I think they might have towed her car for the light. It really wasn't clear. But I don't see if she had like expired license or no license at all, driving on suspended license or anything like that, that they would have actually dropped the charges. So to me, that's I'm thinking through this a little bit. I think I'm believing that they really just towed her car for a license plate light. But either way, these are the types of things that have been going on for years, at least as long as I've been driving, and it doesn't seem like it's gonna stop. Y'all let me know. Y'all get hit with some dirty tickets like that, like noise pollution. Y'all let me know. All right, it's Ricky Rich for Black Primacy. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on your notifications.